Brand new whip just hopped in.
What's up, and welcome back to another episode of Cinestro, your boy Blackman. And today we're talking about Daredevil Born Again, episode 3, and Big Bong, another cinematic masterpiece, Mickey 17. You already know what time it is. This is Cinestro, the greatest podcast on the internet. Let's get right into it.
Cinestro, call the gas. It's your weekly gold mine. Stay tuned in. Stay tuned in. They got the beats, got those comic spins. I stay tuned in. Stay tuned.
I cannot forget the title card. You already know what time it is. Click. Let's go. Man,
I'm so glad you found that.
I was off the bean.
The metaphorical bean.
I'm off the bean.
There's no metaphor. He was on it.
Speaking of off the bean, somebody off some greatness right now. Daredevil Born Again, low key, they're cooking right now. I can't even lie. It's the first episode did mislead us a little bit. It was sloppy with the CGI. However, like Graham said, episode 2 is where it took off. Episode 3 builds on episode 2. Let's go ahead and get into it. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I'll go ahead.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Episode 3, I hate to do this because it is in a sense its own thing, and comparing it to the original is beating a dead horse, right?
Why are you beating horses?
But don't question how I make my money. Just know that I'm paid. All right. But this episode, I feel like captured the essence of the original so well. Like this one felt like I was truly watching like Daredevil Netflix season 4.
Yes.
Like because I think what really shines a lot of the time within Daredevil's comics, especially, is how it makes the monotony of bureaucracy and like the judicial system in a courtroom entertaining. How it really grabs you to where you're like, habeas corpus, precedent, other things that I learned from seasons of Suits that I can't remember. But like just all this like legal jargon, it makes it feel suspenseful. You're over here thinking like, oh my God, I hope they can summon another witness. I hope they get this docket into whatever the fuck. I don't know how laws work. I just followed them eventually.
How laws work?
So good.
I was telling Luis this after he watched it because I didn't want to like spoil anything, but the way they use like his senses, you know, like he's still doing that, listening to their heartbeats. He's listening to the cops behind him. Like he already knows that they're gonna make a move. Spoiler alert on White Tiger. Like and I think just the way that those law scenes work with him is the use of his like senses and stuff, which I'll like talk about more in a little bit. But go on. I just think that part helps a lot with those scenes.
Speaking of White Tiger, I want to do this real quick. Shout out to the GOAT, Camar de los Reyes. I know it's hard to have a performance this good and know that the actor has passed on. Camar de los Reyes was the White Tiger, Hector Ayala. He passed away from cancer prior to this show being released. And obviously his character, if you haven't seen the show yet, spoiler alert, White Tiger does not make it past this episode for reasons that will be explained in the next episode. However, in real life, Hector Ayala is no longer going to be a character because Camar de los Reyes passed away from cancer. Phenomenal performance from him. It was emotional, it was gripping, and I think we were just scratching the surface with him as the White Tiger in MCU. He's performing other things prior to Daredevil Born Again, and please do watch what he's been in prior. Play the games. He's been in Indiana Jones. Please go check that out. Phenomenal actor, phenomenal person. I wish I honestly fuck cancer. Excuse my language, but fuck cancer. There's a cure for it. There needs to be a cure for it because not just because we don't want these actors and these stories to die off, but because we don't want people to die off. We don't want people to be suffering through these kind of things. And I just want to say, you know, like I said, rest in peace to Kamar. Big ups to him. He performed so well with what he gave us in this last 3 episodes. I cannot say any more praise to him. Highest of praise. White Tiger was one of my favorite parts of the last 2 episodes. I wish we got more. We need more White Tiger. If you read the comics, you know White Tiger's not done. But I'll leave it at that. Anyways, that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. I do feel like, knowing in the comics things that happen to White Tiger and how that trial doesn't necessarily go the best.
Yes,
I knew where it was going, but the fact that in the short time that Hector Ayala is present in the show, right, with just merely his facial acting, like really,
especially when he's on the witness stand, it's great. But when he's with Matt and is it Kirsten or Kristen? Yeah. His reactions, and like you could tell, like that one point he's about to get worked up and like probably wanted to sound off. And like that hearing his heartbeat helps with that, but you could just see in his face he was about to blow. And I think another really, really good scene was when he was repeating, "It's the right thing to do."
Yes,
it's the right thing to do. But I wanted, like, my favorite part of the whole episode is the last time he says that, the entire courtroom goes deaf, like it deafens, and that's like statement like echoes.
It resonates.
It resonates, and you know that that's from Matt's perspective, and he's hearing this. And Matt also has another. I guess it's like towards the end, or no, it's when the other lawyer is talking. He's like, "We need
the ADA, the dickhead,"
and it just like pans
the balding bastard,
bastard, rat bastard, and it pans over to Matt, and it's just like, dude, these feelings are exactly what I was getting in the original series.
Exactly, and I also feel like there's just something to say about how well a show is written when in the span of a mere 3 episodes, or even 1 to 2. I think maybe even on episode 2 is where I really started like locking in and truly caring about Hector's character.
I think 1's the weakest of the 3.
Yeah, one is definitely the weakest.
The first one is the weakest
it stumbles a little bit, but 2 is where it starts to learn how to walk, right? And then 3, it is running. 3 is where it really hits its stride.
You can
but
tell
I think it's just taking off though.
You can tell episode 1 is part of the episode 1 is part of the rewrites, because it wasn't like this before. Episode 1 was definitely like, hey, we changed something, let's make it work, blah blah blah.
And it's a great episode. Don't get me wrong, but that first fight it's hard to fucking watch. And I was one of those defending it when that trailer was released. Fabio and Luis were like, dude, that looks like shit. And I was like, I'm like, no, it doesn't. I swear. It doesn't.
It'll be good. It'll be good.
Dude, that shit was bad. And it could have been good. Like the only good parts of that sequence are when they're in the stairs. And you could tell that's because it's one of those small sets and it's not that top roof CGI
volume bullshit,
dude. That was bad.
Yeah, there's actually
it was bad
to the scene.
But I think episode 2 does really kick in. But this 3rd episode, like it hits, and I mean, I think the Kingpin parts are great, but it definitely was not center stage on this. Like this was straight up.
Fuck Kingpin.
Vincent
D'Onofrio.
I like the Kingpin
His
part.
story is boring.
Like,
his story is so boring to me. I think that was my main issue with this episode. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
he said
I was not rocking with it.
I
don't care that he got cut.
I do kind of like the because as much as I feel very iffy about Vincent D'Onofrio's Wilson Fisk, and it's purely just
I'll let everyone know I'm
gargling Marvel's voice. I love everything about it except for the voice that sounds like he's trying to swallow a bug. That's not good. That's not fun.
It's distracting at times.
It's very distracting. It sounds like he's gonna be like, swear to me.
Little Gandolfini is the distracting part in this shit.
He's so ass.
But you put ass and ass next to each other. One's worse.
That's the thing. I don't think
double ass and
I don't think that
big ass, little ass.
I don't think Lil Gandy. I don't think it's necessarily his character that is ass. I think it's that they wrote him into the show, but it feels like with everybody else having a purpose, right, and getting their moments to shine and truly like act their ass.
He does nothing,
right?
You're right.
He does nothing. I forget he's there.
he got on his fucking cell phone after the Kingpin is like, "Hey, go make some shit happen." He just pulls out his fucking cell phone, and I'm like,
I genuinely want to see something become of his character because I know that
I want them to kill
what
him
is
off.
what is his name? What is his like actual like real life name? I cannot remember it. Daniel.
No. Oh, I don't know what his first Gandolfini name is.
His name is Gandolfini's son. We don't give a fuck about his name.
Baby Gandalf.
The thing is with Gandolfini Jr. that I really hope that they give his character some kind of a reason to be there because everybody, even like small little characters, right? For instance, like whenever they go to get Nikki from that place where they're stashing him, right? That one dude who brings him up to the courthouse, he serves a purpose. And he's barely in the show. The cops that pull over and stop them periodically, barely in the show, but they feel like
that was a badass sequence too. The transition with the van, I love that shit.
Yeah, I genuinely did not expect the fake out. I was surprised.
Me either.
And that rarely happens with a lot of Marvel properties. And that just goes to show,
a good real quick, a good comparison on the Gandolfini, I think, is Victor and the Penguin. If you give him some kind of arc like that, okay, we'll see it. We'll see.
But the difference is the guy who played Victor is a great fucking actor.
There you go. So I honestly don't think. I think he's just fucking there.
Yeah, and he feels like he's just filling up space for the most part. But that's everybody else is very much so phenomenal. And I'm assuming that later on in the series they'll be able to actually give him something to do. But so far, I'm really liking how it's building all these different pieces, right? Like how Kingpin, in spite of like how he's trying to like clean up his image and be more like squeaky clean, he still has that essence of greed, of wanting power, of wanting control. And he's going for like the most like semi-legit way that he can maintain his grip on not just Hell's Kitchen, but the greater of New York as a whole. Right. And you can see how he's trying to mobilize things. Like, for instance, you have the anti-vigilante task force that he's establishing, and how there's those people within the police force that are modeling themselves after Frank Castle, which after this is a large spoiler because we have spoilers.
We've already crossed it.
Yeah.
But after White Tiger is pronounced not guilty, I still had this sinking pit in my stomach as I was like, he's fucking dead. He's he's not making it.
You see those three cops with the tattoos, lockjaw. Like
the moment that he starts smiling at his wife, I was like, that is the last time he's gonna ever see her. Because when he was suiting up and he was running down the street, right? There's a point where a hooded figure, as he's out on patrol on this empty street, when he's running to like the sound of what he hears to be a mugging, pulls up and shoots him in the head. And as he walks towards the camera, you can see underneath he has a bulletproof vest with the logo of a Punisher. Now, I do know that is a red herring because Frank would not have any reason to just randomly kill somebody
and he
else.
Wouldn't be paid by Kingpin either. That's
exactly. Frank, in spite of being like an absolute fucking dickhole, is 1000% incorruptible. He is 100% on the path of what he believes as true justice, and he would never in a million years consort with a man like Kingpin or do.
He has a line, and that line got crossed.
Exactly, and I'm very interested. I think probably around episode 4 is when we're gonna get John Bernthal's Punisher returning, and I'm very interested to see how he reacts to having his symbol taken away from him and used for the purposes of like this pseudo justice. Right, because in a sense, it does mirror the pathology of Frank Castle himself. Justice should be taken into the hands of a person who is willing to do it, to end any criminal or anybody breaking the law. Right, and these cops are essentially doing the same thing, but through a different means. Right, and I'm interested to see those parallels play out later in the series. I hope next week's episode is very much hitting on those themes. I'm very excited for that.
I'm interested to see that and how they apply the whole Sons of Punisher shit and the whole there's a specific panel in the comics where Punisher goes ape shit on the dudes who glaze him hard. And y'all know exactly what I'm talking about because I feel like everyone in this podcast has seen this panel. But there's a specific panel where he just goes. They're like, "Oh, you know, this is what you want. Is this not what you're about?" Blah blah blah. And Punisher's basically like, "No," and fucking
mows them all
wrecks
down.
their shit. Mows their shit.
If I remember correctly,
goes,
I think he like rips the Punisher sticker off the car. And then he rips the badge off the officer, and he's like, "You wear a badge because you fight on your side of the law. This is my side. You ain't from around here, little nigga. Don't come around here. You're not about this. 10. You're not what I do. You're not me. You're entirely different."
The exact words he said.
Exactly, word for word, bar for bar. I think what's also going to be interesting is that Matt's going to be the one to tell him that there's these cops parading around with either the tattoo or.
Can Matt see the tattoo? Genuinely,
he saw the tattoo.
He can feel it with his echolocation, his field, his hand vision.
He's like, there's slightly less sweat coming out of these pores on their neck. Therefore, there's
clogged pores. I think there was like a little moment in episode 2 when he beat the shit out of those 2 cops in the room that
also,
he like
kind of disappointed that they're not fucking dead because he threw that boy's into the ground.
That guy, the guy who got scorpioned into the ground and like his neck was like this.
So interesting that they're gonna make the last line. That's why he goes to Punisher. What's gonna happen? And then the
last episode. That's literally what we talked about. We're like, oh shit. He just killed these 2 dudes, bro. He just killed them straight up. And then Officer Powell shows up. And I was like, fuck. I was like, no.
I was kind of mad when that happened.
I was too. I thought he did.
I do like they didn't. I'm glad they didn't go that route this early because I feel like that Catholic guilt aspect.
We've had 3 seasons.
We've had 3 seasons of him being like, I won't kill, I won't take a life, I can't do it.
Yes, I think it's very fitting, or would have been very fitting if right after he loses his best friend, or a bit after he loses his best friend,
he kills himself
to that line.
It's like Batman. It's like Batman in Snyderverse. After Robin dies, he just goes and starts killing motherfuckers left and right. It would make sense. It would be stupid, but it would make sense.
But I feel like we already got a good glimmer of what would happen if Matt snapped with Bullseye. When he realizes Bullseye is alive, you can see in Charlie Cox's like
threw that nigga off the roof.
You can see he's panicking because when he hears a heartbeat fade from Foggy, but he hears a heartbeat build back up within Dex, right? He has like this weird confused relief on his face because he's glad that he can somewhat absolve himself of that guilt of taking a life and crossing that line and giving into that Murdoch rage. Because he says even in season 1 when he's telling the story about how his grandma used to look at him and his dad, he's like, careful of those Murdoch boys, they got the spirit of the devil in them, right? And he's trying to overcome that generational trauma, that generational hatred and rage that has gone from like his grandfather to father to him, right? He's trying to do better, right? And I feel like we've already kind of got that in the first episode. And if they kind of stretch it out and build on it across the season, I would prefer it. But if they just did it in one episode and then it was on to the next, I feel like that would have cheapened it. Just
I think it was also so easy for him to kill. And you know, like, because I mean, brother had like 9 knives in him. And he's looking at this man dead in the eye, and all he does is just like see ya. I think that's maybe also why he stopped. He was like, damn, I really could do this. I could. And what I think would be cool is this interaction between Matt telling the Punisher, you know, these people are using your face basically, because that's what the Punisher's known for. And if somehow like the Punisher kind of somehow like calms him down and it's like, you know, you don't want to be me, kid.
That would be great if you have Frank be the voice of reason that brings him back. I would love that. Yeah.
But after he has his blow up with the cops, because I mean he's obviously going to go off and
definitely going to happen, because with him doing everything through the legal means to get Hector out of jail, and still justice does not
winning.
And winning.
With how that was like put on the news and stuff. So like it was broadcasted, you know, like this was almost like it was a big deal. And the thing is that Kingpin is mayor, and people know Kingpin's history. So like, will they start getting assumed? I mean, the Kingpin has had the police force in his pocket before.
Yeah,
and he still does, because he sent that one dude to do whatever his wife did. That's still a little confusing to me on like, is he still like really got a hand in it? And I think this episode showed that he still does, and he's still willing to put these vigilantes down because he knows Matt's the devil. And he won. Matt like had a huge win, so he's still putting down Matt while also putting this iron fist down. And I think that's awesome. But I'm like, how is he gonna react to all of this? Because there's no way that guy, or is it BB that's the one going around doing the video footage? She's gonna go up to some people and they're gonna be like, oh, the Kingpin like had a hand in this shit.
Exactly. I feel I think that would also be realistic, because there would be some people who would like see that and they'd be like, well, they would automatically catch on, right? I mean, this guy was accused of killing a cop and was framed for it, and who famously has had the police in his pocket. It is now a governing body leader of New York City, the Kingpin.
What does this sound like? What does this sound like?
Yes, but at the same time, I feel like it would still work, because even if a bunch of people acknowledge something, right, and a bunch of people confirm that it is right, whether or not something's done about it from a legal standpoint or like an actual like giant bureaucracy or governmental level is completely
out of hand.
Void. Yeah, like you have like things in real life. Like we know for a certified fact that crack was put into like black communities and like shifted off to Nicaragua by Reagan. Like we know
too much on my goat Reagan.
I'm gonna let you have that. I'm not touching that one any further. But like, there's all these like conspiracy things, like MK Ultra, like all these things we know that governing bodies do that are in the public eye, but there's no repercussions because
you can't do anything about it.
Have that real power, exactly.
And why the Kingpin is so scared, because there's people out there, Matt, who is becoming a big lawyer than what he was doing pro bono work for 3 seasons.
He's doing state cases.
Yeah, and like the law firm's big, and I think that's I fucking love seeing that, as much as like I miss him with Karen and Foggy, like, you know, but and I kind of hope that his law partner like gets a little more throughout the season,
more screen time.
Like,
I feel like she has more to do.
More to do, and so does the old man, Cherry or whatever.
Cherry,
the cop, right?
Cherry clutches
the PI, the retired
PI, the retired cop.
Well, like that's a solid team to, you know, fight the Kingpin on 2 fronts. And
exactly,
I think this is completely off topic, but the thing with Matt getting this big law firm, at some point I want to see Peter Parker get Parker Industries.
Oh, bro,
back to topic.
Future Foundation, Parker Industries, all of it's coming. Trust me.
But back to Daredevil. I think just like the way that this show is capable of taking just things that no one else would care about. I feel like a good parallel to this type of like writing is like The Bear. Right, like I've worked in food service. I don't think it's worth anything broadcasted. Right, I've seen Kitchen Nightmares, and I'm like, that's slightly entertaining, but I wouldn't watch a whole serialized narrative about the monotony of a job. Right, but I'm watching a serialized court drama that is also a superhero thing. But I think that blend, is much better represented. For instance, like you have like She-Hulk, a show that's completely totally different, right? But it has courtroom scenes like this. Even in the MCU, right? There's parts where they go to testify in front of like tribunals, right? And those court scenes, they don't hit with the same gravitas.
As it's grounded, it's like grounded.
Exactly. And this show manages to walk that line so very well, and I think also
on the third episode
it's much better. Yeah, and the third episode, we have like 8 episodes in total for this show.
No, I want to say 10.
I don't even remember.
Yeah. It might
10?
be 8.
They went double digits
multiple times.
Let me look.
Double digits is brave if they're doing it for a Marvel show, because that's usually around the middle is where they get a weird lull for no reason.
So, and I think that's a good thing that this show is going to do compared to the. I love the original series. But some of those episodes just straight up did not need to fucking be in there. And a bunch of episodes, like it was a lug to watch some of that stuff. like mid seasons of Game of Thrones type of like grinding. And it was but it's still good. And I think them being able to almost not, because I mean they used his senses and stuff in the original series, but they used it so good in this episode, and we just have to see more. And what's crazy is that episode 2 and 3 were kept in from the rewrites and stuff. Like this was like the original plot of I want to say the entire season was like all White Tiger and stuff. Which, you know, sad reason why they had to do it, but I think it worked in the way they're going to fit this in with like the wider season is great. I also want to acknowledge that everyone's hype meter was at like 6s and mine was like at a 10.
Listen, that was a skeptical 6. A skeptical 6.
I was a 7.
Wrong. I'll admit it.
7, cautious 7. I'm at 8. I'm at 8.5.
I can't remember what I said. I think it was.
You said like a 7. I think like a 7.
I think you and Luis said 7.
Yeah. What do you think you're at? What do you think you're at now? If you having seen the series, or if you had to revise it,
I'm at a 9.
I think I'm at a 9. I think I'm at a 9.
What's crazy is that I'm also
indifferent.
I'm also looking into like what this could be. Probably
Gerardo got White Tiger cosplay costume information in his shopping cart right now.
I think I might.
I was really sad that he died in the show, and now on the podcast I found out because of y'all that he's dead in real life, and I'm even more.
I didn't know either. I didn't know.
Bro, on the white hoodie and everything, he was ready.
Let me tell you, when I saw the in honor, in loving memory of Camar de los Reyes, I was like, please don't tell me he died for real. I googled. I was like, no, bro.
I didn't even see that. When did that?
When did that happen? Actually,
no. Was that episode 3?
Was that?
I didn't see that.
2.
There's 9 episodes this season.
I can't count.
9 episodes. That's good. That's good. Oh,
that's
also,
perfect. That's perfect.
Also, what I really love, right, about the emotional beats in the show is how even the credits, right, when he's talking about the Coqui frogs that are in Puerto Rico, right?
Yes,
and the ending credits is just the sounds of the Coqui frogs, and that's how you know. So sad, that's how you know that you're home, right? That's how you know that that's how you know you belong. That's like a core memory for him. Oh my god! Oh my god! That hurt.
That's crazy.
That hurt. And he just gets gunned down in the street, and then they just leave his body there.
Dude, that was so fucked up, but such a good. They did it. It was so good.
It's
like
so
he had his moment. He had his walk up where, like, you know, he suited up after all this abuse and stuff, and like,
he feels like he has the city's blessing almost.
Yes, yeah, and then so in reality, that probably is the best way to go out. Now, you're on your high horse, but it's so brutal. And I think that like this show's going all out. We saw Matt like almost he did snap his arm. He should have ruptured some arteries and killed that man. That dude.
Realistically, they're both dead.
Thrown that nigga through the floor, bro.
But I think
I was needing that. I need that so bad.
We need more of season 1's like Dread. There was a guy who stabbed his own fucking head because he said a name. We need more of that. We need more.
We just will rewatch that. Well, I rewatched. Actually, watched that for the first time.
I started.
I shouldn't have did that. I shouldn't have did that. He said, "Oh," I was like,
"Fuck me!" And then the sequence of him in the tower with the Russian.
Mind you, I watched that. I watched that freshman year of college. It still hits the same.
Oh yeah,
it's
5, 10
I've
years
watched
later,
it through like 4 times, dude.
Crazy.
It's unbelievable.
I've been going back to the series with
the greatest. Daredevil is the greatest comic book adaptation, show, movie, whatever of all time. That shit means something to all of us.
Honestly, if I had to think about it, I think it might be top 3 material.
Absolutely,
because I'm genuinely thinking of like
top
even
4?
like the MCU in their movies. Right? Shut up. for our audio listeners, he's doing the fucking Mr. Fantastic for it again. But I genuinely feel like it's just so well represented of a character with a reoccurring theme that does not feel repetitive, like it's bashing you over the head with the same plot lines over and over and over again. Now, I do have 2 questions. One, when he was in the courtroom, right, by himself, and he was rubbing the horn that broke off his costume from the day Foggy died, did you think for a second, because I had the inkling that was going to happen, and I was going to be like, that's a bold choice for a third episode. Did you think that since he outed Hector as the White Tiger, he was also going to out himself as Daredevil?
No, I didn't think so.
I think
I had a weird thought for a second that he was going to.
What I kind of interpreted it as was almost like he's in the church because he's not in Hell's Kitchen, so he can't go to the church that he.
He also can't go to Father Lantham. So
right, so I think that was a little mix of him like praying and just I think he knows he has to come back.
Contemplating what he's done, what he has to do for the case,
and what he can't do when he does come back. He can't kill. So I think that's like still weighing heavy on his mind, even though, like Hector said, it's the right thing to do. What you've been doing, and I'm so ready for him to come back, and I do think he's going to be he's going to be brutal. He's going to be brutal for the first.
I do wonder. Also, this was the second thing I was going to ask. They showed in the trailer multiple helmets, multiple suits.
Bro, it was like 5 or 6 total.
When the fuck are we getting those? Like I'm genuinely
I doubt we're getting all of them.
I think we're getting
that's
those.
just when he goes and looks like for them there.
That's gonna be his suit up. He's gonna go back down. He's gonna kick the breaker on from the back cave that's been shut down.
That Charlie guy, the special needs guy.
Shout out Gladiator
Potter.
I fucking love that guy. I can't remember. I think he's in jail. He got arrested by the FBI.
Melvin
Potter.
He's
still alive. I think he's
in real life.
Melvin Potter. That's bro.
I don't know if he died in real life.
I think he's alive in real life.
Somebody's character.
I thought he got arrested in real life.
I think in the show he just got arrested when they were doing that sweep for like all the people affiliated with the Kingpin.
But it's been 5 years.
It's been 5. He's probably out like on good behavior.
Bring him back
or something.
Yeah, bring him back because I would rather see him than the She-Hulk guy.
Yeah, and also I don't think there's a way for Matt to get his suit back otherwise.
Dude, he's got to wear the black suit.
I want that one so bad.
They know we want it, so they're gonna.
The Shadowlands suit is so good.
And even if that's the last episode, I'm cool with that. I said
the black suit coming. The you already know what I'm on. I'm tweeting. I'm logging in. The black suit coming. The black suit. We're gonna get the black suit.
Coming with Spider-Man.
We're gonna get the full Daredevil. We're gonna get the full Daredevil suit with the DD on his chest, bro. Suit. He's gonna earn it this season. He's gonna earn it this season.
So when him and Spider-Man aren't swinging on the same screen, it's not too red costume.
Yeah,
I think if there's any suit that I'm excited to see because they've already displayed like they will be keeping the brutality intact from the past seasons, right? I want the absolved white suit that he has in the comics, and we see
the white and red. Like is that the white and red one?
Yeah, we see like a remix version of it in the trailer.
Yeah,
the one with the red eyes and the all white. I want to see that, and he's just like beating the dog shit out of somebody. Just
with the blood splatter.
You want him with the blood splatter.
Like Frank when they locked him up in the cell, and he had to like shank 45 dudes.
So good.
That was so good.
Better yet, I'm gonna tap into that. Az make the suit all white. And every time he punches, and the blood just makes it redder and redder until he's fully covered in red. Like,
oh my god, that'd be so badass.
And then
that'd be so badass.
Post him out from the chest.
Yeah, but they're all definitely still alive.
They're all. It's like how Batman doesn't kill. You know, they're
what about like when he is in Doomsday and stuff, and he's grown a beard and he's gonna have that hood on?
Oh, he has like the scarf and the cowl.
Oh, where he's fighting
U.S. agent.
Yeah. When he's like, he says the badass line where he's like, "If you didn't need saving, God wouldn't have sent the devil."
The devil?
Oh my god!
It's so stupid. I just posted that the other day.
He's so goddamn.
He's got some of the best one-liners in history.
It's so great.
Daredevil's so cold, bro. Daredevil's so cold. So
I hate the fact that like it took me watching like the original series to get this into Daredevil. I should have read more Daredevil comics when I was younger. Oh my god, I'm late on the train, man.
Charlie Cox is up there with RDJ.
What's our final rating so far for DD Born Again?
I gotta give it I don't want to say it's perfect. But it might be a 10. It might be. It might be.
Because my opinions changed over the course of this podcast just because I thought they were being assholes by killing off White Tiger. But
Tiger
now I realize
and Tiger and
I don't know. It's
I gotta go with a 10 because this show had so much going against it. Not only did it have to pick up from a show that ended like 5 years before its production even started,
a show that was peak.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Not only did it go through reshoots and redesigns, but
and different directors, different writers,
and
this is a Frankenstein thing, and we've seen what that does to Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Exactly.
All those.
The wrong one.
Kermit. You talking about the one with Kermit?
Absolute cinema.
But I think I agree. I would probably give it a 9.7, and I'm really gonna dog them for that first fight.
That's more accurate. I'm gonna go 9.7. I forgot the first episode does exist.
Jeff,
although Jeff the Shark is in cinema. That's adorable.
But here's the thing: if episode 1 is the worst episode of this season, we're in for
and even then worse, just because of that first segment. Because the rest of the episode is good.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah,
but so I have 9.7.
Agreed. Don't miss.
Yeah,
I put at 9.5, 4.5 out of 10 or whatever stars, 4.5 out of 5 stars. That shit good.
I'd say it's like 8.5 for me. I'm just a little down. I'm a little down on it because Matt didn't kill, and I thought they were making it pretty clear that he killed. And I feel like maybe that's something that was reshot or that was changed. And
I think they used the cheese way for it too. Like, he still has that. He has that that spinal thing.
The other officer wasn't shown. That nigga is definitely dead.
I don't know.
The guy who got his arm broken.
He's at least paralyzed from the shoulders down.
He's definitely
dead. I also don't like
again.
The idea of anyone other than Fisk like having an inkling that Matt isn't like truly blind, or he might be like more than what he's showing. Because I really like that about Fisk. Gifted. I like that he's like, oh, you fight well for a blind man. Whereas now this random cop knows too. It's just
I kind of fuck with it. I kind of fuck with it because it shows how like he's compared to like past seasons, right, where it was really only like Fisk or like Foggy in his inner circle, right, who had like an inkling that he was moonlighting as the devil of Hell's Kitchen, right? You can see there's like more and more to lose, even though he's lost his friends and Karen's fucked off to like I think like San Francisco is what she said.
She's probably doing heroin,
right? That's unfortunately where it does go in the comic, and I hope to God that they don't do that. I hope to God they don't.
It'll be fucked up, but it would be good.
But it'd be an interesting subplot line. But I think that having that fine line, that knife permanently dangling above his head with Fisk, and then adding more and more knives of more and more people finding out, right? And
but he has to go back in.
Opposing forces, and he has to go back in.
He has to walk under multiple dropping knives. Like he knows that. He knows that.
I feel like that adds to the tension. I don't view it as like too cheap, because at first I did, but then I put some more thought into it, and I was like,
nah, why is he not in this suit? Why is he not like?
Exactly.
Why is he not seeing that? I could take 2 more episodes of this until I see him in the suit. As much like maybe 1 more episode, but. You know what I mean? Like, I think they're doing that great. Like, this anticipation is building up. And I think that's also my high rating. My anticipation for the show is a lot. I'm wanting Devil's Reign full blown. Like, if they do 4 seasons of this, Spider-Man has to be in the last half of season 4. It's going to take
bring back Luke Cage. All right, Mike Coulter needs to pay his bills, man.
Next season, they've officially that boy does need some work.
Mike Coulter on food stamps, and I hate to see it. Me and Mike Coulter have the same net worth right now, and I think it's very sad to see.
But I just think that so far it has been damn near perfect, and I think that it's just getting better and better. And we're only 3 episodes in. We have a lot. We got
we're only a third of the way through.
You never know. But
what about I was gonna say what was Matt's number rating? I think Matt's the only one who hasn't rated it yet.
No, you said the same as yo.
You said you had 9.7?
9.5 out of 10. 4.5 out of 5 stars. This shit's so solid, bro.
We're back.
Shout out to Devil's
so
Ass Kitchen, bro.
We say it all the time, but we're back.
Marvel's back.
Hey, speaking of who's back, bro. Big Bong, my goat.
I like it.
They gonna hate what I have to
Bong
say.
Back.
They gonna hate what I have to say.
Big Bong cooked. Hold on, bro. Let's talk about it. Big Bong Joon-ho cooked again. He never
cooked
missed.
on what movie, Matt? What movie we talking about, man? What movie is it?
Mickey 17, my guy. Mickey 17. Go to cinema. Oh my god. Let's talk about it, bro. This movie goes so hard. Everyone's like, Rob Pattinson. This shit gonna be.
Is this gonna get like? Is this movie a spoiler movie? Because I mean, I want to watch it, but also I don't think I really.
We can make it spoiler free. We'll make it spoiler free.
You don't have to. Go on.
I'm not making I'm saying everything that happens.
I'm spoiling.
We get Robert Pattinson full frontal.
Before we get into the review, that is true. And I did pause the movie.
Yes.
That's neither here nor there. That's not.
What do you mean you paused it? How did you pause it at the theater?
Because I went up there and I said, "Hey, enhance, computer enhance,
zoom in enhance."
Jarvis, scan his balls.
But Mickey 17 is basically just the story of Robert Pattinson's character Mickey, who after some dealings on Earth go bad, he needs to make money, so he signs up for a program on his space exploration. To this planet called Niflheim, this like frozen tundra wasteland, and he signs up to be an expendable, where he basically has things tested on him, and they 3D print his body and upload his memories, so that each time he dies, he basically just gets recycled, and it plays with like a couple of little themes of like mortality and what it means to be alive and what is life and all that. But for the most part, it is basically just a dude sent to explore a planet, and every time he dies, he gets reprinted. But that's the basic story. But let's get into
Niflheim is a Greek mythology thing.
Yeah, it's Norse. It's the realm of the frost giants, if I'm not mistaken. I think.
No,
I might be wrong on that.
Niflheim. That's
Niflheim. Is that
Niflheim? Sign me up.
Niflheim.
That was good.
It is the home of the frost giants, bro.
It is okay. So I was right on that. Okay. But yeah, is it a frost planet? It's a frost planet. It's like a frozen tundra, basically. It's like Hoth, but if Hoth was worse.
I don't know about worse. It might be better.
Hoth might be like frozen, right? But it doesn't have like blizzards perpetually. Like
but does Niflheim have giant wampas?
That's a good point. Wampas are the caveat. At least the creepers are peaceful. But before we even get into the reviews and we give our ratings, I'm just gonna say my rating off rip. This shit is 7. I'm gonna say it. It's a 7. And I'll explain why, but I'll let y'all. I got a long reason.
Go ahead.
Bro. Okay.
We're gonna let him go.
So look, the way that Gerardo hates Anthony Ramos, I've processed, is the same fashion in which I hate Mark Ruffalo.
Nobody hates. No one hates anyone. On this fucking planet, I hate Anthony fucking Ramos. Bitch ass. Stop bringing up his name.
I
would quit the fucking podcast.
Look, it's just throughout the movie, right? Everyone in it is so good, and for a movie like this,
incredible cast.
You need a compelling villain, right? And in this, we get, in a sense, 2 villains. There's like a minor antagonist in the form of like Mickey 18, because there's a point where for a little bit, because there's a point where
like finally meet.
Yeah, so what happens is he's Mickey 17, right? He's the 17th Mickey. He falls down a hole into a ravine, and his friend's like, "Hey, buddy, they'll just reprint you. Don't worry, I'm not even going to save you. The rope only goes this far. Sorry." And Steven Yeun just fucks off into the ship.
And
he's presumed dead.
Survives. We'll keep it vague so you can watch it and like express. He's presumed dead. He survives, and when he gets back to the ship, there's a new Mickey who's way cooler. It's kind of hotter. And
he's kind of an asshole too. He's
I fuck with it.
It's like the red shirt.
Yeah,
pretty much.
But it's just like the villains in it. They suck, man. They suck. I'm gonna say it.
I think they suck on purpose, though.
No, it's not in the same way that like I hate a villain that gets on my nerves. Like, for instance, like I will admit the Riddler is an excellent foil for Batman. I will admit that, right? The way that he challenges his mental capacity, right? And you makes him use that world's greatest detective aspect. But I still fucking hate that nerd because if I am trained in every single way to kill a man, why are you asking me math problems? Squab, nigga. Squab. like, what are we fucking doing? Right? So then when you have like, so in that sense, right? If a villain gets on my nerves, I don't mind it, right? But these two are just so like, I don't know if it's the way that they're written or if it's the acting choices.
It's the performance, I think.
But I think it might be the acting choices
because
it's Mark Ruffalo and some
Collette.
lady Toni Collette who plays his
from Hereditary. Yeah.
Oh my god, this movie made me not like Toni Collette.
Yeah, so let's be clear. She's a great actress.
She's a great actress.
She's very good in this role.
This role, they do this weird thing where they make both of the main villains these quirky, weird, random XD kind of things to their personality. For instance, like Mark Ruffalo's character insists on doing like this weird pastiche of a Trump impression. I don't know what the fuck it is, but he constantly, every time he talks, he's like this, has his fucking teeth out. Like fucking Mr. Bottomtooth from Family Guy.
He's got like 4 sets of veneers on in this movie.
He's like, hey, everyone. Isn't it so great? What a great day to be in space.
You're weirdly good at that. You do sound like him. Yeah.
Dude, because it's embedded into my brain, but that is bar for bar what he fucking sounds like.
Mark Ruffalo is just a shitty fucking actor. Well, he didn't used to be, but I think he's
wasn't he really good in that Poor Things movie?
No, you liked him in Poor Things?
I've never seen it. No.
I really disliked him in Poor Things.
After rewatching Poor Things, I realized that I mostly liked it because I saw a lot of Emma Stone naked, and it had Willem Dafoe. So I was just like, "This is a good movie." Yeah. Upon rewatching it, I do like his character. His character is funny in Poor Things. I do find him amusing because he constantly keeps getting the shit end of the stick. It's good.
That was funny, and everyone in the comments was like, "Mark Ruffalo is so good," and I was like.
Yeah. It's just like if you put him in anything besides a rom-com or like
people
a background
Dean Morgan
role.
is great as Conquest, but some people are just fucking stupid. It's okay. We're allowed to disagree.
I respect all the
opinions, even if they're wrong.
I don't think the only movie he was decent in the Marvel was probably Endgame. So I've never just a big. It's just that movies either give him too little to do.
And I like him as a person.
I love him as
a very good actor.
Yes. Yeah. But it's just like in the roles that he's in, they either give him too little or too much. And this movie is an example of the too much category because him, every time he was on screen, even when he actually like gets his comeuppance in the film, like when he actually gets bodied, I still did not feel good about it because I remembered he existed in the first place, and that fucking bums me out. Like he's just so insufferable in this role to where like I would apologize before I punch him in the face if I saw Mark Ruffalo in person, but I would have to punch him in the fucking face because this guy is just such a dick. He's just such a dick for the sake of being a dick. And it's not even like a funny, like, haha.
So is your problem the writing or the performance?
Is this like a Joffrey thing with Game of Thrones?
I think it's definitely the performance. Because I feel like the way that he's written isn't too bad. He reminds me of like who is the guy
from
who in every
the space cruise.
No, in every single movie he dances. What is that actor's name? What is that actor's name? One word. He's in Iron Man 2 as Justin Hammer. What is his name?
Oh,
Sam Rockwell.
Rockwell, right? If you put someone like Sam Rockwell, right, and you gave him the same lines and the same like everything, right? Minus the weird
Springtime.
acting choice of the over teeth, right? And if you put him in as the villain for this, I feel like I would have loved it, right? Because I think Mark Ruffalo just doesn't have the charisma to carry as a main antagonist like this. And also his wife, Toni Collette, has the weirdest fucking character trait because for some reason she's obsessed with sauces. Like to a weird degree. I don't understand it.
That's but that's a writing issue.
Like
if
the
that's
sauce
what the
Messiah?
problem is.
Well, okay, it's different reasons I dislike the antagonist, right? For Ruffalo's character, it is a performance issue, 1000%. For Toni Collette, it is the material they give her to perform because she's a phenomenal actress. Hereditary is by far my favorite horror movie of all time. I think I've seen it like 6 times at this point, right?
God damn.
She's
That's who that is. That's
She
who
is-
that
Yeah,
is.
that's
When she improvs
She's
that
also
speech,
Knives
Just
Out.
realized.
I feel like she was the same character she was in Knives Out almost.
She was
But
in
she-
that.
but she-
She was great in Knives Out.
but it's just like her quirks in this don't make me. They kept taking me out of it. They felt very much so. Well, that just happened, you know. And then even
they
like near
find
the
out.
end, when even near the end, there's like this major sequence, right? To keep it as vague and spoiler free as possible, where she has one of like the alien creatures they find on the planet, and she cuts off its tail and puts it in a NutriBullet, and she's like, "Here, taste this delicious sauce." I'm like, "Bitch, that's blood. That's not a sauce. You're fucking insane." Like, it's not even like an endearing, like uncomfortable, insane, like a Hannibal Lecter. Like, it's just like annoying. Like they are both insufferable, and I was praying for the moment they died on screen. I
think
was
that's
taken
the
out.
point. I don't know what your problem is with it.
It's just
you hated the villains.
I think
that
I
you were
hate,
meant to hate.
but I didn't hate them in an endearing way. Like I hate most villains in other media, right?
It sounds like you hate him.
No, because like
you hated them with a vitriol and a hate in your heart. That's the point.
But the thing is, when they got their comeuppance, I still didn't feel it because I was just annoyed with them. Like I was just like, oh my fucking god, oh they're gone. But I still had to experience that. That memory's still in my mind, and that was also when I came to the conclusion that I hate Mark Ruffalo.
Did their job.
They did their job well. I guess just for me, it wasn't working in the way
was too
that
well.
should have translated.
It
was too well.
And now it's
good,
spread
bro.
to real life.
I
and you
think
don't like Mark Ruffalo.
yeah, I think that's it. I think it's just blended my real life. I think you know what? And there's also other parts of this film that I wasn't too keen on, right? I feel like certain parts of the subplots were kind of like for instance where they're with that one guy, the loan shark that Steven Yeun and Robert Pattinson owe money to, right?
Dorian or whatever.
Dorian Blake or whatever the fuck his name
Blank
is.
or
Damian Blank, yeah, Mr. Blank.
Darius Blank.
Yeah. There's a point where he gets where Steven Yeun gets a note from under his door, and he's like Blank managed to send somebody up here with us to this space station. This motherfucker really wants his money, and he's after us, right? But I had forgotten about that plot line. So then by the time that it came back up, I was like, oh,
that's because you have TikTok brain.
No,
that's literally
no.
bro. No, hold on.
I thought that was cool.
That's
I
the
was
main
like, yo,
part.
that's pretty.
That's the main reason
really
why they
cool.
escaped,
It
bro.
shows like the lengths that they'll go to.
Dog.
I thought that was.
Hold on, bro.
Yeah,
Easy. That's the main reason why they went to the fucking Nilfheim in the
no.
first place.
I know
They
that.
were trying to run away from that loan shark ass.
I know that, but it's
scary,
just,
bro.
It's just there were more compelling parts to me than that, right?
It's a really minor part of the movie
because when you get to, like when you have that right when you have that whole thing, that whole montage of him and his different lives and him having experiments done on him, right? And how it gets you to care about Mickey and I think her name is Nasha, right? The Asian that he's in love with,
Nasha,
right?
The only one who ever cared to me was Nasha.
The voice. I didn't like the voice at first, but it grew on me.
I loved it for a second.
But
it's just voice range.
Vocal
yeah,
range.
He does. He's
the boy in the
put
hair.
Robert Pattinson in Invincible.
Dog.
Get an actual fucking
They
voice
call
actor,
him the Matt
please.
Blacksby of Hollywood.
Thank you.
But it's just
Soon,
it was
inshallah,
just
I'll be the
like
only one.
there were certain parts in this movie I just feel like were not resonating with me the same way. And I feel like certain parts could have been expanded more because I found them more interesting than others, right? Like the subplot of them owing money to the loan shark, I thought was cool. but I didn't really care about it as much as like them on this planet, the interworking politics of that, and how they have this like fascist dictator essentially in charge, right? And how there's like multiples are like a criminal offense essentially, and how he faces like complete deletion, and how he gains the will to want to live as the 17th Mickey when he realizes that he could have died, but then he's alive and he's like, holy shit, this is the best day ever. I can continue living. I'm Mickey 17, baby. And then he found that there's an 18, right? I feel like all those plot lines were so much better. Plot. Exactly. But everything else around it at certain parts would just kind of bug me a little bit. I guess I just felt kind of scatterbrained.
You need to watch it.
I wanted to see more Kai.
I might need to maybe watch it again, but just on the first run, it wasn't, because the concept of like exploring an alien planet via a man who can basically be like 3D printed over and over again, and what that could do to a person, right? Quick saved essentially, right? Like a respawn point, a tactical insert, if you will, right? I wish it explored more of that, like the themes of mortality in that. I wish it explored that more. That's I think that's my main gripe. I wish I thought one thing going in this, because I'd only read the synopsis, I hadn't seen any trailers or anything. I've only heard you guys talk about it, didn't know anything else about it.
It was fire.
And then I went in after reading the synopsis, and I was like, Now I am intrigued very much so by a lot of the design choices. I do like the aesthetic of this like cold, unfeeling hull of the spaceship, how it feels everything like cramped in close quarters, right?
Like,
and it has it has a pseudo kind of aliens vibe, but everything's painted like matte black, so it feels like an Imperial Star Destroyer kind of vibe, right?
It's very industrial.
It's very industrial, right? Very, very corporate driven, very monetary, which really plays on like the themes of like how Toni Collette and Mark Ruffalo's characters operate. I like that. That's a good design choice. And I also really liked how the indigenous aliens on the planet, their design, little autism nerd moment here.
Tardigrades.
They're tardigrades, baby, water bears, because it is theorized that if there's any alien life out there or life that exists in space, it is mostly a single-celled organism. And the fact that these things are like essentially giant tardigrade water bears that like evolved to this like woolly mammoth kind of style of creature, I liked that. I also like when they fucking split apart and they have that weird like screaming thing they do. God, that's so cool. I really like those weird little creatures. The creepers, I like them. I like them a lot. But I don't know, man. Just certain parts of the movie weren't hitting for me. I don't know, man.
I think it was great. I think
you should watch it in the theater this time. Put your phone away and pay attention. And a lot of these gripes that you have will go away when you're not texting.
Agreed. You know what? I think it's really Mark Ruffalo. I really think that's I think that's it. I really think that's it.
I can't argue with that. I don't like Mark Ruffalo.
It's just his acting choice that fucking bugs the fuck out of me.
Hey, bro, I think me personally,
I'm sorry he mimicked your goat.
We're going to go to Niflheim. We're going to build a colony. It's going to be super huge. It's going to be so great. So great.
Fuck. You know, I said to JD, I said, we're going to go to Niflheim. We're going to make a colony. It's going to be so good. It's going to be so big.
I'm going to shoot myself on camera. Y'all better wrap this up.
The biggest colony that we've ever seen in America. You know,
we're going to make America beyond the stars.
And Putin, and you're going to use your one and only. You're going to be your one and only. And you're going to be you're gonna have to submit to this. The colony.
I did like that he would like go like this.
He did the little.
This. The little fucking dance. Oh God, he's so insufferable. I feel like he just should have been played by a person with more charisma. That's it. I think that's my only gripe actually in this movie. Rethinking everything else. That is my only gripe. That is my only real gripe. But what are y'all's thoughts, bro? What are y'all's thoughts about this movie?
I thought it was really good. I thought it was really fun. Robert Pattinson, he's hot. The girl who plays Nasha, she's hot. The girl who plays Kai, she's hot. Everybody's hot. I mean, you can't complain about it. Everyone but Toni Collette and Mark Ruffalo in this movie and that bald guy is hot.
Toni Collette's hot in her own special.
Shut the
We'll
fuck
stab
up,
you in
no.
an alleyway.
No, we're not doing hypotheticals. Are they hot in this gross way that no one thinks about? She's not hot. It's okay. Not everyone's hot. Not everyone can be Robert Pattinson.
And he's doing another weird little voice. That shit.
I love his stupid fucking voice.
We need
Dude,
that.
he's
He
so
said-
talented.
And I love
Mickey voice?
I love the
His Mickey
distinction between
17
Mickey 17 and
Mickey
18.
18 voice.
Yeah.
18
I
is
did it.
Tell me a
psychological,
difference.
bro.
Tell me a difference. Tell me.
One's
like-
deeper
it's
and
like-
slower, probably. I think
It's
would be
like-
the best way to
18
describe
18
it.
is the type of nigga who will kill you for looking at him. 17 will be like plant you flowers,
Yeah.
bro.
And
That
it's
was
also
17 will like help you change your tire, and 18 goes to Waffle Houses sober just to fight.
And then he'll stab your
That's-
tire. Then he'll stab your tire.
That's
a
great.
comparison.
That's fucking.
It's
great.
also great because even in like the body language of Robert Pattinson, you see the difference because they have the same exact body type and everything because they're the same dude just reprinted, right?
Mhm.
But to where Mickey 17 is more of a slouch and he's more kind of like, oh, guys, I don't know about this one. I don't
And
know.
also,
I
when
don't know about
18 was
it."
being printed, you
Right?
saw that like some of his wires got fucking torn out.
Yeah.
Like, different. He's very different from 17. I liked it.
That's
Great
cool.
movie. 9 out of 10. Go watch it. Please don't let it
Watch it
flop.
in IMAX or anything?
I did watch it in IMAX. I got
The-
free tickets.
The
Fucking
reviews I've seen have been giving this around like a 70%, and I think
They should be higher.
Mark Ruffalo aside, I think this should be at the very least 85. Very least 85.
Damn.
80
It's
to
good.
85 around
It's
that.
good, dude.
Because it is shot beautifully, I might add. It is shot fucking just
It's well made. It's well written. It's well acted for the most part. And everyone's hot. What else do
Yeah.
you need?
It also has a super happy everybody claps ending, and I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
It was good. It made me feel warm inside. Everybody gets a good end. Well, almost everybody, but like everybody that
Everyone who
matters.
deserves a good ending.
Everyone who
gets
deserves
one.
minus one person
Mostly,
who
yeah.
deserves a good ending, but
Ah,
everybody else
my
gets a
goat.
great ending.
It has a 78 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Should be higher.
I feel like it should be higher. I feel like it reasonably should be higher. What other films has Bong Joon-ho made?
Parasite.
The one you've seen,
okay.
probably he made
with Chris
Snowpiercer.
Evans. Yeah, yeah, which is my favorite Chris Evans movie.
It's fucking
You guys
great.
are gonna
Parasite.
you
One
guys
of
are
Chris
gonna
Evans'
hate.
only good movies.
Parasite.
So good.
I-
Yeah, it is. But he's so
I-
good in it, though.
I still have yet to see either of those films.
I hadn't
I've
seen
not seen
Parasite.
either.
Wow.
I got to see Parasite. I've been told to see it a lot. I might see it tonight.
Snowpiercer is phenomenal.
Oh yeah, it's incredible.
Okja also
what I've
is
seen.
really good.
Didn't he
Okja,
do-
oh, the pig. I've seen
Hey,
that. I've seen that
Didn't
one.
he do Old
Why have
Boy?
I seen that one? I'm not. Did he do
Did-
Old Boy?
I think he did Old Boy.
Like the original, like not the American one, like the Korean
yeah,
one.
yeah, I think so.
Oh,
Let me double check. I'm typing it in. Let me double check.
that's
Wait, which one are y'all talking
literally-
about?
Old Boy.
You
Did
never
he
seen
do Old Boy?
where the guy gets captured off the street and locked away for like 20
Did
years?
he
from
make
his
Old
family?
Boy? I don't think so.
Let me look this up. I'm pretty
Oh my
sure. Let me see.
I'm gonna be classified.
I'm looking it up because I'm pretty sure he
Old
does.
Boy
I don't think he does it. He
2003.
does it.
No,
This
never
one-
mind.
He
It's-
made
it's
Memories of
Parks and Rec.
Murder. He made The Host. And he made the movies we
Man,
talked about.
If he made Old Boy, I was about to just go
Whoops.
watch every single thing he's ever made because Old Boy is my favorite movie of all time. No movie
Go
has
watch
shocked me
everything
like
he's ever
that.
made anyway.
Sorry for the
And
classified.
I'll
go
still do it.
rewatch this one in the theater.
I'll rewatch. I'll pay my money to go.
Dude, you might as well get the AMC Stubs thing. I need to.
I have it.
real.
I just don't use it because I'm a lazy bastard.
You don't use it?
I just don't have the time. Because then I gotta
Fair.
drive to the theater, and I'm just like I don't have the time. I
that
get
is
off
fair.
work, and then it's like 11:30, and I'm like I'm not going to a movie
Yeah.
theater at fucking midnight
Yeah.
and go to bed at 2 in the
If
morning.
they got a Showtime, I'm going at midnight. I don't give a fuck. I'm
I've
using
done
my
it
free
before.
ticket.
I've done it before.
I might do it again just so that I have like an actual empty theater because every time I went on
In fact,
AMC
where am I
to go
going?
find
today?
tickets, this shit was fucking packed, which is amazing that it has a 77. If the theaters are this fucking packed, I feel like the audience score should at least be higher. Maybe like an 85.
Yeah, I looked at a. Oh no, that one seating I looked at, I think was empty as fuck,
That's heartbreaking.
and that was
I
at
know
like,
it's
and that
happening.
was at like 7 p.m. too.
I think this movie also suffers from the fact that it is like Warner Brothers production, and they notoriously like just pass a sticky note under the door of apartment buildings, like, "Hey, we're dropping a movie."
I don't know.
I got a lot of marketing for this movie.
I did too. I got a shit ton.
That's weird. I guess I'm just. This is weird. Why is the YouTube man the least online? What the fuck is happening?
Yeah,
but I feel like I didn't see anything about this until like y'all started talking about it.
You only get commercials for fucking cartoons. That's why.
Ignore what's behind me, but you're possibly right.
I'm not watching Jujutsu.
You knew. I bet you knew when the fucking solo leveling bullshit was in the movies, huh?
You're goddamn right. I did.
Wait, is there a movie?
What?
Is there
There was.
Yeah,
something
they
in the movies.
they did a movie of the first season. They condensed it down into a film, and then they put.
I hate that. I fucking hate that.
I love
Solo Leveling's
Speaking
great,
of
but
Solo,
I hate
bro.
that shit.
Speaking of Solo, what's everyone's ranks for this movie, bro? What's your Solo rank for this movie?
I got bullied into thinking this movie's good. I'll give it a fucking 8. Fuck you.
It was good.
It was actually pretty good. It was actually pretty good.
Fun.
Those 2 points are
This movie's a
deducted.
9.
Watch it in the format it's meant to be.
I think it's just solely because
Big
of the
Bong.
acting choices.
Big Bong.
It's the acting choice of Mark Ruffalo, and then the weird quirkiness that they wrote for Toni Collette that I was not fucking with. I think that those two things are taking me out of the movie a little
lengths you're
bit.
going to not talk shit about her performance.
I know, bro. He's trying to
because you like one of her movies that came out 5 years ago.
You don't
Like,
understand. You don't.
7
you don't
years
understand,
ago.
Okay? No,
7
I also
years
love
ago.
Knives
No
Out.
doubt
I
it.
also love Knives Out. Knives Out is fucking incredible. I love that movie.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
It's such a good mystery. But it's just like I know Toni Collette can do things that I don't view as insufferable. So why in this movie was she insufferable? I think it's just
This movie
both
was
of the
good.
fact that like both of the
It's
main
all-
leads should have been different people. I think that's both of the main lead villains. I feel like could have been played by different actors. Personally,
No, Mark
That's
did
my-
a good
that's my
job.
only-
You're
as
right.
equal as the more gooder Donald
Mark
Trump.
Ruffalo should have been Josh Gad. Josh Gad and Toni Collette should have been played by a man.
Toni Collette should have been played by Danny DeVito.
Somebody clip that.
That's a good movie.
That would have been.
Fuck up.
Oh no! Actually, I'm not even meaning this as a bullshit.
So, anyways, I
If
started
you-
blasting.
If you had Mark Ruffalo's character played by Danny DeVito, I'm not even shitting you. Having him as like this super
No,
powerful
bro.
like presidential figure,
mean, like,
and everybody
I hate
respects
that.
him. He's like,
Listen to
Yeah,
me.
I mean, it
Mark
would
Ruffalo's
work.
Character,
and then
work,
Mark Ruffalo's
like
character
especially
played by Guy Pearce.
no, and then like no.
Weirdly, I thought that too.
but
Valid.
I kind of thought that. I love Guy.
If you
I love
get
Guy
somebody
Guy
as
Pearce,
small as
good
Danny
evil
DeVito,
villain. Guy
If you-
Pearce,
Great evil
bro.
villain.
if you get somebody as
Good
small as
villain.
Danny DeVito,
No,
and you
shut
put him
up.
in that no,
He's still
At
on
the
this
end,
Danny DeVito
when he's
shit.
in the military suit, that little man complex he has
No,
would be on full display, and I would love it.
Guy
I would
Pearce.
love it. I would
Guy
fucking
Pearce-
love this movie.
Guy Pearce looks like the perfect villain, bro. He's too cool.
Guy Pearce looks like he cackles in the shadows.
he probably does. Evil
Definitely.
ass nigga. He looks so good.
Evil ass fella.
So y'all two gave it a 9 and AZ said 8.
I'm giving it an 8. I'm gonna give it an 8. It just wasn't hitting too much for me, and I really feel like the themes of
Don't let the
mortality. I
Mark
wish were.
Ruffalo distract you.
It's not even that. Not even that. I'm actually gonna boost it up to like a 8.5 to a 9. I feel like more so because I realized that my
the amount of shit he talked this whole fucking time.
my-
He's like,
my-
I think it's a 8.59.
I already know all the TikTok clips, all the YouTube shorts are gonna fucking crucify me for this. But I feel like
will.
genuinely, what really was missing from this movie was a stronger exploration of mortality. I really would have liked if they hit on that a little bit more, because I feel like they were going somewhere with it. Right when he was like thinking back to like the lifetime with his mom when he pressed the button and he thought he caused a car accident. Right when he was thinking about how his friend is like a piece of shit, and he's always thinking about how every single time that he dies, he's still the same person, but he also isn't. And he gets a really good dichotomy for that when he sees Mickey 18, how he knows he's the same, but he's not. And I really would have liked that exploration a little bit more on that theme, but they didn't do it. And so it's a fucking 9. Fucking 9. Fucking 9. Fuck you, audience. Fuck you.
Well,
From a 6 to a 9.
I think Big Bong cooked, just like we cooked in this episode. Another episode of Cinestro Court is in the books. Big shout out to everybody tuning in today and every day on Spotify, YouTube, whatever you listen to, bro. Keep tapping in. Share our podcast and YouTube channel far and wide so everybody can know what's going on. We got all types of cool stuff happening. Follow our homies at Backstage OL. Tap in with what they got going on. If you want to be informed on Hollywood, movies, TV shows, etc., tap in with Backstage OL. Our
Big
boy
news
AZ.
coming.
AZ locked in on the twitch.tv/Tari Singo. Also on the Tari Singo on other platforms.
And YouTube tomorrow. I promise.
Instagram,
Foreskin Man video dropping tomorrow. I promise. I pinky fucking promise. I've said it 18 times.
You keep
but it's
lying
actually,
to me.
I'm not lying to you. This time it's actually dropping. I finished it today. Like it's actually happening.
real.
It's actually happening. It's for real. Tomorrow, 6 p.m. Central Time. Tune in, watch it. It's very funny and a terrible comic, and we have a good time.
And then follow us at Cinestro Corp, no S. Still in that legal battle to get the S back, inshallah. If enough of you follow us and subscribe to our channel, we may get the S back. If we hit 200 followers, we getting the S back. On God. Okay, I'm not gonna say that because I want to get blasted by lightning. But somewhere in there, if we get it, we might get, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all tune in to the next episode of Cinestro Court. Love y'all. See you next time.
We're the kings of the screen, yeah. Cinestro Court, we're the dream, yeah. New episode Saturday afternoon. We in your ear, that comic book crew. More good it takes what we do. Cinestro Court.